Welcome. In this section, we're going to talk about properties of logs, how to expand our logs and how to condense our logs. So the first property we want to talk about is the product property. Product property. Okay, our product property says that when you have a log, any base, that has something multiplied together in our value. So in this case, let's say we have 5x, which is 5 times x, and we want to expand this. Sorry for that scribble. We can expand this by breaking this into 2 logs. So this is going to be equal to 2 logs that are added together. Oops, zoom out, not in. They will have the same base as the original, so in this case log base 3, and we take what was multiplied together and break that apart. So one of our logs will have the first part, the 5, one will have the second, the x. So our product property says 2 things that are multiplied together in my value can be separated by addition here. Likewise, if I'm condensing, if I have 2 logs that are added together, I can condense them into a single log by multiplying these guys together. Okay, our next property is our quotient property. And this says if you have a log, and let's use a different base just so we see it works for all of them, log base 6 of something that is divided. So let's just put a 4 and an x here. That if we have something, a log with 2 terms that are divided, we can break that apart into 2 logs with the same base as the original. So they both have base 6, and our value here is split in 2. Whatever was in our numerator comes first, then we subtract the log and we put the denominator as our value. So again, if you have something that is divided, that you have a quotient, you can split this into 2 logs that are subtracted from each other, with the value of the numerator minus the value being the denominator, or coming from the denominator. Our final property is our power property. And to do this property, it says that if we have a log, and let's use base 7 this time, where we have something that is raised to a power. So in this case, let's say we have 3x, and I'm purposely making this a little complicated, raised to the 4th power. So I have things in the parentheses raised to a power. I can separate this or expand it by taking my exponent and moving it to the front of the log. So in this case, it moves to the front. We then rewrite the log base 7 and keep the value the same. The only difference is now we don't have an exponent there. So again, we had 3 properties here. We have our product property, which says if you have 2 things multiplied together, you can separate them into 2 logs where they are, our value has been separated and they are added together. Quotient property says that if you have a log with 2 things that are divided, you can separate them into 2 logs. The first log will have the value from the numerator. The second log will have the value from the denominator. And our final property was our power property. It says if you have a log with an exponent in the value, you can take that exponent and move it to the front and then write the whole log. So the log base 7 of 3x to the 4th becomes 4 times log base 7 of 3x. And we can use these properties to help us solve equations, which is our next video.